Let's take example now of the S&P just by looking on what is happening visually in order to have things more in motion of the real thing. We want to choose when we are coming to a thing, not even all planets. We can take the major one. I usually will start looking at the things according to the ascendant. Even that sometimes we are choosing event, we don't know if the time is correct, like the S&P. Usually I'm checking for the stock market, I'm checking the first hour of the trade between 9 to 10 a.m. according to local time. But when we have more certainty about the time, the ascendant is a good place to start measuring the thing. If not, we can start with the sun location. So by this example, with S&P, we are looking that the ascendant is in Sagittarius. So we are trying to see who is, always asking, who is the ruler of the ascendant? Who is the ruler of Sagittarius? So it's Jupiter. And Jupiter is located in Scorpio. And it's on the ascendant almost. So Jupiter here is strong and creating expansion that relates to investment of the Scorpio archetype. We also want to understand what's the value of thing. We're looking on Venus, and Venus is in the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of loss and the house of Pisces, the house of corruption, when things are hidden. And where Neptune is located, in the 9th house, the house of Jupiter, that is also in the 12th house, but is more even close to Sagittarius. So, because Neptune is in 20 degrees and Jupiter in 23 degrees, we already see here the line that they are doing here a relationship that's called square. Because from Leo, we are counting 3 signs to get to Scorpio. So we have here Neptune squaring Jupiter in the chart of the S&P. What it means, Neptune squaring Jupiter, only by itself. This is a lot of corruption, a lot of hidden laundering money, and a lot of illusion of funds and expansion. Then you choose if you like to do business with a thing or not. You are also can look for what planets are coming back. Look at this. This is fascinating. Venus is in 12 degrees and Pluto is in 12 degrees. Pluto is the ruler of Venus of the sign of Scorpio. I'm saying it like the ruler of Venus because Venus right now, she is a guest in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And Pluto is exactly in the 8th house, a very strong Pluto. And we know that Pluto is related to funds and investment and death and transformation. And Pluto is in Cancer, right? Venus doesn't feel strong in Scorpio because it's determined. Why? Because the natural house of Venus is in Taurus. So now she's in Scorpio, she feels that she's taken away, all the value is taken away. And despite this, Venus does a good aspect, a trine with Venus. So Venus is completely trapped by the power of the death and and the violation of Pluto. So it's not always good relationship create something good. It's maybe good for who is managing the S&P to continue this machine and speculative asset to continue going on. But Pluto here is a hidden power, is a centralized, hidden, strong, concentrating power that is taking the value and managing the value. Only by looking on those two aspects written, Neptune squaring Jupiter and Pluto trining Venus, I wouldn't like to deal with this sort of business, but it's working. And look, also the south node with Uranus. So the south node in Uranus, we understand that this is manipulation of technology and assets, and because it's ruled by Neptune, that is does the square with Jupiter, and because Uranus in the 13 degrees, also in water element, so we are having here a trine between Venus, Uranus, and Pluto. So also Uranus is doing trine with Pluto, and also Uranus is doing a trine with Venus. Those are all in water sign. What about the interpretation? We could go on and on by understanding who is weak here, and this is a triangle harmony. Not every member of the mafia uh, is is strong. Sometimes it's very comfortable to be part of the mafia, but if you take it alone, the person could be very different by its nature, but is like harmonically part of a something that's very hard to break. So we can go deeper by interpretation. This will take us to a totally different direction. But I just want you to have the feel of something that is working and in what way is working right now, or generally. Now I want to show you in the application, if we are going to grid, we could see all the application, all the relationship that are happening inside of the S&P chart. We are seeing all the aspects here in this triangle, okay? So we could see here a trine between Uranus and Pluto. We detected already. We could also see a square between Neptune and the asteroid Vesta. Okay, we could see here a opposition between the MC and Uranus. We saw it. The north node, MC. Uranus is just in front of the MC. And also, Uranus is sitting on, on the south node. We saw it also. So this part, this way of the application already showing you all the aspects that you are not capable to see, to capture in the wheel aspect, but I like to look it by my eyes and to learn the dynamic through contemplation on it. Sometimes I'm just meditating on watching the same chart, even my own chart, because we can learn a lot every time to capture different dynamic and the relationship. You know, you are seeing the waves, you are seeing, okay, this planet is ruling this planet, this location is here, what it means. Then we will try to add on the composition that we are finding, the transits. What's now is happening on the same location where the activation or the aspects of the natal chart is happening. And on and on and on. Astrology is not a thing that you are taking, I get it, now I'm reading alpha, beta. This is a practice of accessing a chart, accessing a knowledge, and starting chewing it by a lot of observation, until you start feeling the messages that are coming through this thing. And those are a mixture of aspects that are happening on the same time, right? So in the next class, we are going to discuss about transits of natal chart and to analyze what is happening on the time that we are measuring, or in the past, we can go seeing transit of any time we want, past, present, and future, but on relation to the natal chart of the event that we are measuring, whether the birth of a person or the event or the creation of any stock. Okay, so see you in the next segment.